How I got kicked out of grad school, Part 1. In August 2021, I started my PhD in a mid-sized bioscience program. I was far from the most social person, often keeping to myself. During orientation week, I was introduced to a young lady named Susan, also in my program. She seemed pretty friendly and easygoing, and her friends and my friends mainly studied and worked together throughout our first year. We rotated in labs nearby, so I frequently saw her. I didn't care to try to initiate any interaction with her because she is soft-spoken, and I am hard of hearing. This doesn't include the fact that we had to wear masks on campus because of COVID. The combination of these factors made it nearly impossible for me to hear what she was saying in any given conversation. I often nodded my head in agreement whenever she would talk, just pretending that I was engaged. It wasn't until October of that year that I started to appreciate how cute Susan was. I was walking home with her, and since we were off campus, we didn't wear masks, so I actually got to see her full face. That next week, I was talking to some friends, and I was invited to a Halloween party. The host of the party mentioned that she had invited some of my friends, including Susan and her boyfriend. I didn't go to the party because the host had mentioned that she was inviting some other people who I found to be really annoying, but I learned that Susan had a boyfriend, so I didn't even think about pursuing her and nearly forgot about her for some time. At the end of our first year exams, we all entered our thesis labs, and I found out that Susan and I are in the same department. I am running towards my car after work to move it before it gets towed, and I hear Susan calling to me. I didn't realize it was her at first because she had cut her hair pretty short, just above her shoulders. Anyway, we start talking until we get to our cars, and I move my car so I can get back to work. A few weeks later, our department is having a picnic that we were all invited to. I go to the picnic, and shortly after I arrive, I see Susan walking towards the picnic area. She was wearing this beautiful summer dress, definitely eye-catching, and also classy enough to wear to church. We sat down together, and across from us was her coworker with his wife and young kids. I started playing with the kids. I genuinely love kids. The entire summer before grad school I was at home, hanging around my family, including my 2 little cousins, whom I often babysat. Naturally, the conversation about kids comes up, and for about a minute I thought about what it would be like to have kids with Susan. It was pretty obvious that Susan was interested in me based on our conversation that evening, and it just so happens that Susan is exactly my type. Slightly shorter than me, with brown curly hair, dark eyes, and a round pretty face. As we were walking back to our cars, I thought for a second I should ask her out, and I felt like I would be an idiot not to. I ask her if she is seeing anyone, and she says she isn't, so we exchange numbers. At that point, I had completely forgotten about the friend who told me Susan had a boyfriend.